Hi, we are here once again in Gettysburg, and we are at what's known as the Trostle Farm. This was actually owned by an Abraham Trostle at the start of the battle, and Major General Sickles, who was the commander of the 3rd Corps of the Union Army, actually used the house as his headquarters. One of the sort of nasty things is they had just made their dinner, and they commandeered their home and wound up eating their dinner to the awful. And of course, when the family came back, their house had been busted up and looted. This property particularly is known for, there's a cannon hole. Let me focus in there. In the barn there, that is an actual cannonball hole. But they said when they came back here, they found like 16 dead horses, like the artillery horses were laying here in the front yard. It's just brutal what they had to clean up from them. But I think this is right in the general area as well. The General Sickles wound up getting his arm shot, and they had to amputate it. And I think there's a story as well that he actually had a funeral for his arm. He was Sickles was sort of an arrogant guy, but Sickles won the Medal of Honor, and there's he was definitely courageous, but his actions of moving his troops forward as far as he did, and he disobeyed direct orders from General Meade, could have potentially cost the Union Army the left side of their line. But fortunately, his men fought hard, and what happened with Little Round Top and all those things actually preserved the line, and they wound out surviving the second day of the battle. But this farm played a major role, and like I said, this was Major General Sickles' headquarters that he commandeered. And I sort of think, if I remember correctly, it's out in that direction. It's called the Peach Orchard. I think that's where he actually got shot, because I think he was on his horse, and so he made himself quite a target in that regard. But yeah, it's pretty neat just seeing a cannonball hole that's still there from the Battle of Gettysburg. I'm gonna go over here and harass Wandering Woodsman a little bit and ruin his video, because that's what I try to do, because we're in a competition now. Me with my 532 subscribers, and him with his 50,400 or whatever he has. 500 now. Sorry. I was at 533, but apparently I made somebody bad. But
you have a whole bunch of information about
it. Yeah, here they have it too. They have the cannonball, and then there's the hole, and they talk about
all the dead horses down there.
Oh wow, that's one thing I will say. Like, the Civil War photography was pretty brutal.
Yeah, 80 of that battery's 88 horses were killed.
Wow, so 80 of the 88. Yeah, this was one of the fiercest areas of fighting in the entire battle. But yeah, Abraham Trostle Farm, and that's it right here. It's a cool story, sad, but it is it's one of those true stories of battle and war. Thanks everybody. Alright, so I'm actually going to add on here, because there's actually some pretty important information about what happened here. Sorry about my shadow, but it's unfortunately while the sun's sitting. It talks about unflinching under fire, ordered to hold at all hazard, buying time for Union troops to occupy Cemetery Ridge. Captain John Bigelow's 9th Massachusetts Battery, first timers on a battle line, placed their guns here in the Abraham Trostle farmyard. Bigelow knew his battery, 6 12-pounder Napoleons and 110 men, were being sacrificed to buy time. It says cannoneers stacked ammunition for rapid fire as the Confederates advance over the knoll to your left, which would be over there. The 9th Massachusetts fired. The Southerners pushed forward, capturing 4 guns. Fighting hand-to-hand, the unflinching 9th defended the guns with hand spikes and rammers before finally retreating. Yeah, so that was battery here, cannon battery. They were basically in essence sacrificed to allow the Union troops to occupy Cemetery Ridge. And that, you hear about that a number of times. I think there was a Minnesota regiment or a unit that they in essence were ordered to charge basically to save the line, which they did, but I think most of them, if not nearly all of them, actually died in that charge. But that was the horror of the Civil War. All right, everybody, we'll see you about town.